are passing the Royal Danish Playhouse. This opened in 2008. It's made by the architects called Lundgaard and Snapjern. It opened and premiered with a production of Hamlet by Shakespeare, because something is rotten in the state of Denmark in that play. Hamlet actually takes place in a different city. It's 50 kilometers north of here in a castle called Kronborg, and it's in Helsingborg. It's also a castle you can visit if you want to. There is a very new build, but the island that it's on is actually a very old man-made building. It's called the Paper Island, and that is because back when we had all of our printing presses and newspapers here in Copenhagen, we needed a place to store the papers, so we devoted this island to the paper from the newspapers. Nowadays, it's turning into luxury apartments. These apartments will have the most expensive square meters in all of Denmark, which means that as much as I get to see these buildings from the outside, it is highly unlikely I will ever see them from the inside, unless I win the Euro Million. There is still hope. Coming up is a very chunky building with an even chunkier roof. This is Copenhagen Opera House. It's also quite a new build from 2005. The building is constructed in such a way that on the inside it's supposed to mimic the construction of an anatomical harp. At the same time, the walls are clad with maple wood that's varnished like string instruments. And this is of course to symbolize the love of music that takes place inside the building. The building has 14 stories all in all, 5 of which are underground, which means that if you're sitting in the main auditorium watching the opera, in a way you're actually sitting underwater. Further out in the distance, there is a big building with a big smoking chimney on top. This is Copenhagen, and it's one of the newer additions to the Copenhagen skyline. It's a waste-to-energy plant, a very modern and very sustainable one. But besides that, it also can do other things, because inside Copenhagen you can find a cafe. They've also integrated hiking trails going up it. On the outside, you'll find Europe's tallest climbing wall, and then cherry on top of the cake, or ice cream. They put a ski slope on top of it, which means that you can walk all the way up Copenhagen if you like, and then rent some skis and ski down again. It is built by the Danish architect called Gavin Ingels from Big Group, and he is famous for having a very playful approach to architecture in general. missile incidents. That one of the summer houses that were hit by this missile actually was owned by the mother-in-law to the captain, so one might wonder how much of it was accidental and how much was intentional. And on the right-hand side, there's a little green patch with a flagpole on it and the Danish flag. If you look closely, you'll see cannons too. This is Battery Sixtus, named after Christian Zick, who founded it. And from Battery Sixtus, each day we fire 2 cannons, one at sunrise and one at sunset. There is just a little problem with the sunrises in Copenhagen. They occur very early in the morning in the summer, 4 a.m. sometimes. The neighborhood, who includes the Queen on the other side of the sea, wasn't too happy about this. So it was agreed with the neighbors and the residents that the sun officially doesn't rise before 8 a.m. in the morning in Copenhagen, so that everybody gets their peace. New York has the Statue of Liberty, also really big. Copenhagen is a much smaller city, and so our monument is also way, way smaller. We're gonna pass it just after this wooden dog that we're passing right now on our right. She is 50% fish and 50% human and 100% statue. It's of course the Little Mermaid. And from this angle, you're gonna get a rare glimpse of her beautiful backside. Consider yourself lucky. If you do want to see the front side of it, then hold on to your ticket, because our bus tourist takes you straight past the front of her, and you get 20% discount with this ticket that you bought today. She was originally commissioned by the son of Carl Jacobsen, who founded Carlsberg, the beer company that most people know. He got really fascinated with the story after watching a ballet production of it here in Copenhagen. They originally wanted to sculpt this statue after the ballerina in the production of it here at the Royal Ballet. But the ballerina didn't really want to be posing naked and be eternalized. So what you do when the ballerina won't pose naked for you, you ask your wife. So that now the statue that we see here is sculptured and based off of the wife of the sculptor, Ulla Eriksen.
En fait, il disait qu'avant, pour que quelqu'un pose une photo comme ça, il va dans les couloirs.
And our little mermaid has had a pretty tough life. She's actually been decapitated twice. She's also had her arms and then she also had a pain incredible. But every single time someone makes sure that she gets fixed back up and goes back on that rock. So we need to treat people coming in. Today we can see that Queen Margaret on the left, she's not at home, but the Crown Prince and his family on the right, he is home. So if you've ever practiced a royal wave in front of a mirror, then maybe now is the time to actually apply it, just in case Frederick or the others are looking after you. You might be waiting. I even waving back at you. The beautiful backdrop of Amalienborg is of course Copenhagen's marble church. It's also called Frederikskirken. It took 145 years to finish for many different reasons. One was that it was incredibly expensive to build. The architect, the first one, also died, and then we got a new king, so it got postponed a lot of times. In the end, we finished it, and it is a beautiful church, both inside and out, so I do recommend going there. It's open to the public. It also has the largest church dome in all of Scandinavia. It's an initiative that Strømme, our company, has done together with the WWF and the Harbour of Copenhagen and the City of Copenhagen. We have installed something called biohuts. Biohuts are these metal steel cages with a few oyster shells inside. They've been submerged in the water so that all the small fish, the baby fish, and also the endangered species have a place to go for shelter, have a little meal, and then skedaddle onwards once the danger is away. So in a way, right now, we're actually passing hundreds of fish hotels. Imagine that. So I have to turn off the mic after we pass the next bridge. But I'll tell you a little bit about Christianshavn before we get there. Christianshavn is named after Christian IV because he is the guy who wanted to make it. It was founded by him after he took a trip to Amsterdam. And he thought, hey, Amsterdam looks pretty cool. I kind of want a mini version in my own city. This was partly to attract all the wealthy Dutch people to come here instead, settle down and pay us a lot of tax money. The Dutch people weren't really willing to move because they had the real Amsterdam and they could speak the language in the real Amsterdam. So they didn't really want to move to a small version of Amsterdam where they didn't speak the language. Makes a lot of sense. So that plan kind of failed. Instead what happened was that lots of locals settled down in this neighborhood and it's become known for its trade and its craftsmanship. Copenhagen in general, you will be passing many buildings made by Christian IV. He really loved to build stuff. Another thing that he also liked to do was make babies. He, as any good Renaissance king, had a bunch of mistresses, and he ended up having 23 children when he died. And that is only that we know of. There might be more out there. On our right, we are passing one of the street food markets in Copenhagen. If you don't know where to go for lunch at any given time, this is actually a nice spot to go to. Some of you may have heard of the world's best restaurant called Nova. It's very expensive and it's actually also shut down here in Copenhagen for now. But what Nova did was make a burger place. It's very affordable. And that's actually the one you see on your right in the building. It's called Papa. It might not be the best burger in the world, but it's made by the best restaurant in the world, so it must be pretty good. And we have a bridge